NACDL is the association of the nation's criminal defense bar.
But we started, when I started talking to Mike about giving this award, we wanted to try to award folks who are working on state-based advocacy, either an individual or a group. And we started giving the award out, and we got, you know, just great reception in terms of people just really wanting to give, you know, someone that they really felt was doing some great work on the state level, this award. And so this year, we got several nominations. And it was almost a tie, but we decided, or the committee decided, because I really don't have a decision in terms of who. I just tell them this is what we got, and you guys have to make the decision. We decided to give the Champion of State Criminal Justice Reform Award to Second Chance Center in Aurora, Colorado. The award reads, in recognition of their dedicated efforts to reduce recidivism rates of formerly incarcerated people in Colorado, giving it here August 24th, 2018, and accepting on behalf of the Second Chance Center is Hassan Latif. Hassan works with justice-involved men and women to lead lives of success and fulfillment. It began its sixth year in February of 2018. Your growth and development of the organization reflects the vision of Hassan, and they're on the way to becoming the premier community reentry program in Colorado and a model for the nation. You see low recidivism rate compared to other programs in Colorado. And I met Hassan last year, I think, just by happenstance. I was with another group meeting about something else, and he was with the group, and we met and we walked back, I think, from dinner. And I was just really impressed with him. And honestly, I wasn't thinking, okay, we're going to give Hassan the award. It just so happened that someone nominated him, and we chose him. So on behalf of NACDL, State Legislative Affairs Committee, State Criminal Justice Network of NACDL, I would like to award Second Chance Center from Aurora, Colorado, the Champion of State Criminal Justice Reform Award to Hassan Latif.
I'm just going to be brief with respect to this award. I've been coming to these conferences. I'm the chair of the State Legislative Committee. I've been coming to these conferences almost every year for the last 17 years now. And this award's been given out in the last 6 years. I remember when we started, we could probably have held the whole conference in something about the quarter of the size of this room. And since 2012, we've given the award to some very, very deserving people. But they've been lawyers, lobbyists, and legislators. What really pleases me this year is that this year we're giving the award to somebody who is where the rubber meets the road, so to speak, delivering services to those coming out of prison on the street. And it started from the back of his car. So that's why I'm so happy this year that we're giving this award to the Second Chance Center and to Hassan. Thank you very much, Hassan.
Good afternoon, and I'm going to try to be brief so Angelyn doesn't bring out the Sandman on me. First of all, I want to thank the National Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers. This is our first national nod, so we really appreciate the recognition. If I could just indulge you for a minute, there's someone who shared their vision of me with me years and years ago, and were telling me the kinds of things about myself that I couldn't readily recognize, and talking to me about the things I could be and the things I could possibly do. And that was my wife, my black queen, Imani Latif. I just like to just shout her out. she walked those 18 years down with me, and I don't know, now I think she believes that it's starting to pay off. I'm not sure. Look, this is the first time I've ever been to a conference that was so rich and quality laden. I've been sitting listening to panels for the last day and a half, and I've been moved between tears and anxiety. And I just wanted to share with some of you that I've come to know have been doing this work for decades. And I'm relatively new to this thing. I've been home almost 13 years now. I've been working in reentry for about 11. And we've gone from, like Michael said, the back of my car 6 years ago to a staff of 17 now doing this work in a dedicated manner every single day. And a lot of that has been the result of legislative drives in Colorado, in particular spearheaded by the Criminal Justice Reform Coalition of Colorado, and one of your own, Maureen Kane, who, yeah, please, Maureen Kane. Because in 2014, her and Christy Donna, the ED of CCGRC, they hijacked the Department of Corrections budget and made it mandated that they allocate a certain percentage of reentry dollars to community-based organizations doing this work. Never happened before in Colorado. And it was a very adversarial type of interaction, as you can imagine, to begin with. But I wanted to share this for those of you who have been toiling for decades at this work. I want you to be hopeful, because I remain so on a daily. When we came up for a sunset review this year of the legislation that passed in 14, funding 4 agencies, the next year expanding it to 7, sunset review in Colorado is when they pass legislation before it's defunded or refunded. It goes through an audit process. And so they were having the hearing in front of the House Judiciary, and sitting next to me testifying for this bill was the director of the Division of Adult Parole. And so in just 3.5 years, we went from being forced engagement of sorts to actually finding a way to do work together in a way that's meaningful. And one of the things that was most brilliant, I think, about the legislation that Maureen and Christy crafted was that there was written into it an intermediary between us and the Department of Corrections, which was wonderful for us. If not, they would have slow paid us to death and probably out of existence. But as a result of that piece of the legislation, we were able to maintain our illusion of autonomy and continue to get this work done. So I just want to let you guys know that sometimes doing this work, and I don't know if it's just me or if it's you guys also, you kind of feel like you might be in a vacuum and doing some things, sometimes feel like it's by yourself and wondering what you might be missing because we can't get it all done. I've been so encouraged just to hear a lot of the work that's going on. It's being led by people in this room. It's an inspiring kind of thing that I'm going to reach for on those days that it gets tough, those days when we lose people, those days when people who have been struggling and striving and trying to find a way to live again, for whatever reason, give up that journey. We've lost 4 people in the last 9 months to suicide, 3 of them under 23 years old. And so we've found a deficiency in our work, and it's in behavioral and mental health support. And so our striving right now is to increase our capacity in that area, because we don't think that there's any way to do this work well without addressing the whole of the human being. So once again, we appreciate this honor. This is really fly. You know, my wife told me a lot of things that I could look forward to in my life if I worked some things out and connected some dots. You didn't see this though, did you, baby? All right, so thank you so much. I appreciate your time.